Hello, dear students. Welcome back. Today we will begin with the new chapter, chapter number 6, Subsidiary Books. Before we begin with the chapter, let's have a brief introduction about the chapter. See, business transactions are numerous, and it becomes difficult to record all the transactions in one book of primary entry, that is, journal book. For example, in a business, most of the transactions may relate to receipt and payment of cash, sale of goods, and their purchase. It is convenient to maintain a separate book for each such class of transactions. One to record cash transactions, another to record purchase of goods, and yet another to record sale of goods. This system is called the practical system of accounting. Now let us understand the meaning of subsidiary books. Subsidiary books means subdivided journals to record a group of repetitive transactions. For example, for credit purchase, for credit sales, cash sales, etc. Specific transactions are noted in specific books. Such separate books of journal are known as subsidiary book. A separate book for each such subdivision is maintained. For example, for recording all credit sale transactions, sales book is prepared, and for recording all credit purchase transactions, purchase book is prepared. Subsidiary books are also known as day books. Now let us understand types of subsidiary books. Subsidiary books are divided into different categories. First one is cash book. Here, transactions relating to cash, bank, and cash discount are recorded. Second is purchase book. In this book, only transactions of credit purchases are recorded. Then third one is sales book. In this book, only transactions of credit sales are recorded. Then fourth is purchase returns book. In this book, only transactions of purchase returns out of credit purchases are recorded. Then next is sales return book. In this book, only transactions of sales return out of credit sales are recorded. Then sixth one is bills receivable book. In this book, transactions relating to bills receivables drawn are recorded. Then seventh is bills payable book. In this book, transactions relating to bills payable accepted are recorded. Then eighth one is journal proper. In journal proper, those transactions are recorded which cannot be recorded in any of the books mentioned. Now let us understand the advantages of subsidiary books. There are various advantages of maintaining subsidiary books. The first point is division of work. Since in the place of one journal, subsidiary books are also maintained, accounting work can be divided among a number of persons. Different persons can be entrusted responsibility of recording transactions in a particular subsidiary book. Then second point is expertise and efficiency. When the same work is handled by a particular person for a considerable time, he acquires expertise in it and becomes efficient in handling it. Thus, accounting is done more efficiently. Then the next point is time saving. Various accounting processes can be undertaken simultaneously because of the use of number of books. Thus, it leads to saving of time. Useful information is made available easily in lesser time. The next point is easy accessibility of information. Since a separate book is maintained for each class of transactions, information relating to each class is available at one place. The next point is easy error detection. Locating the error is facilitated by the existence of separate books. Since the number of transactions is less in each subsidiary book as compared to only one journal, it is easy to locate the errors. So that's all for today. In the next session, we will be learning how to prepare purchase book. Thank you very much.